There's the freaks. Okay, they harass and annoy. At least during Halloween from earlier centuries, this may have been a very apt description, when there was more emphasis placed on the trick than the treat. Goblins, when not trick-or-treating, wander the countryside looking for a good place to call home. It could be a grotto, a cave, or your home, so check your basements. In French folklore, goblins were especially attracted to homes with beautiful children and plentiful wine. Oh my God, these are the freaks. Wow. I think that's where they came from, Chris. They kind of morphed into the freaks. With the affluence of the bourgeois here in San Francisco, there are plenty of homes sure to make a goblin happy. Upon taking residence, goblins seek to annoy its housemates with mischief, banging on the walls, slamming doors, rearranging your furniture, removing your covers when you're asleep, resetting your alarm clock, and all sorts of things. Yeah, I think they morphed into the freaks. I think that's what. All these are signs of goblin activity. Not all goblins are bad, of course. In some cultures, the prefix hob means good, so that a hobgoblin refers to a good goblin. Okay. And then when they're in a good mood, they'll help with the household chores while they sleep, or going as far to help them parenting by disciplining bad children. We needed a few of those. And you may be interested to know that goblins are part of a much larger but interrelated group of creatures and spirits, which, in addition to goblins and hobgoblins, include... Aha! That's what I figured. Okay. And this also includes bugbears, bugaboos, boogies, bogies, boogies, bogarts, boggleman, boogeyman, boogie beast, boo, boogeyman, and boogleman. They all refer to the same or very similar types of creature or spirit. No, they totally lack that, don't they? The Welsh preferred the term bugbear or bug. Bug means ghost in Welsh. And the Celts referred to them as bugaboos. So, a particularly nasty type of boogie is a boggart. These usually inhabit a specific location like a home, graveyard, cave, or field, but can take up residence in the body of an animal or even a person. Ooh, boogeyman, exactly. Sure, I could. You want me to? I'll be glad to. Listen up, Valerie. Where are they? Okay. Bugbears, bugaboos, bogies, boogies, bogies, boggarts, boggleman, bach, boogie beast, boo, boogeyman, and boggleman. Okay? Did you get all that? Write it down. There'll be a test later, Valerie. So, be ready. So a boggart is a particularly nasty type of one. Their activities are poltergeist in nature, causing mischief by moving objects, scaring people with horrible noises, and maniacal laughter. So there you go. They've been known to hit, scratch, and pinch people, and in some cases carry them away. They are thought to be scared of cars, and therefore are relatively rare today. So now you know. So it's up to you to decide if referring to your trick-or-treaters are cannibalistic, flesh-eating monsters, or just small, grotesque, evil creatures in appropriate costume. But it's Halloween, and of course it's appropriate. So there you go. So, do you now know goblins and ghosts and all that good stuff? I love it. I love Halloween. I love this time of year. Goblins and ghouls. And vampires. Oh my. Okay. So now we know where the freaks came from. What do you guys think of the paranormal shows? Oh yes, definitely, Chris, definitely. What do you think of those? Do you believe in the paranormal shows? I have to tell you, I have a favorite. I love the Tennessee Wraith Chasers. They are totally awesome. They're just great. I really like them, and they really, they're not. I don't think they're as. I don't think they are fake, so to speak. Not really. You don't believe any of them? I love watching them though. Okay. Now, we all know about vampires, okay? We know Vlad Tepes. He was the instigator. Oh, yeah, my favorite two are, of course, are Halloween and Christmas. That's right, Valerie, don't you forget it either. I just love this holiday, I really do. But anyway, not on Sci-Fi. What channel? What? What channel for what? Any channel. Usually, Chiller has them. Sci-Fi, of course. What scared that crap out of you? What channel for what? What's your favorite? Do you like any of the paranormal shows that are on? Paranormal Lockdown's pretty good, but I love the Tennessee Wraith Chasers. They are so awesome. I really like them guys. They are great. What scared the heck out of you, Valerie? Oh, Ghost Adventure. Usually Discovery or the Travel Channel has them. Oh, yeah, I know. I scared the hell out of you. I know. Oops. That they're usually on Destination America. I'm sorry, not Discovery. Destination America. Destination America. It's either on that, the Travel Channel, Chiller or Chiller usually. But I think the Tennessee Wraith Chasers are usually on Destination America. Yes, I love that. I love them. They are totally awesome. Okay, now we know the actual vampire legend came from Vlad Tepes and his creative way of getting rid of his enemies by staking them alive through their body, and they just slid down the pole slowly as they killed them. I mean, his grounds were covered in them. Okay, so we kind of that became like a vampire. You don't have Chiller? I love Chiller. That was pretty good. I've seen some pretty good movies between Sci-Fi and Chiller lately. House of the Witch was on today. Earlier, I recorded it. It was pretty good, actually. Anyway, and the legends of vampires have existed for eons, people. We all know this. The Hebrews, ancient Greeks, and Romans had tales of demonic entities and blood-drinking spirits, which are considered precursors to modern vampires. Despite the occurrence of vampire-like creatures, the folklore for the entity we know today as vampire originates almost exclusively from early 18th century Europe, particularly Transylvania. Yeah, it's a pretty good, they've had some pretty good movies on. Fear Fest should be, I think it starts the 23rd. Fear Fest on AMC if you get that. Anyway, Transylvania, as verbal traditions of many ethnic groups of the region, recorded and published. In most cases, vampires are remnants of evil beings, suicide victims, or witches, but can also be created by a spirit possessing a corpse or being bitten by the vampire himself, of course. And belief in such legends became so rife in some areas it caused mass hysteria and even public executions of people believed to be vampires. There are recorded accounts of revenants in 12th century English historians. These tales are similar to the later folklore reported from Transylvania in the 18th century, which were the basis of the vampire legend. They were subsequently embellished and popularized, of course. Of course, during the time in the 18th century, there was a frenzy of vampire sightings in Transylvania. There were stakings, grave diggings taking place to identify and kill the potential revenants. Even the government officials were compelled into the hunting and staking of vampires. This age was called the Age of Enlightenment. And despite being called that, during which most legends were quelled, the belief in vampires increased, resulting in what could be only called mass hysteria throughout most of Europe. It began with an outbreak of alleged vampire attacks in eastern Prussia. Two famous vampire cases, which were first to be officially recorded, involved the corpses of Peter Blagojevich and Arnold Payol from Serbia. Blagojevich was reported to have died at the age of 62, but allegedly returned after his death asking his son for food. Yeah, age of insanity, definitely. Anyway, he came back asking his son for food, and when his son refused, he was found dead the following day. Blagojevich soon supposedly returned and attacked some neighbors who died from loss of blood. In the second case, Arnold Payole, an ex-soldier turned farmer, was allegedly attacked by a vampire years before, died, and after his death, people began to die in the surrounding area, and it was believed that he had returned to prey on the neighbors. Yeah, yes, it came full circle, Chris, and we're back to it again. So, of course, the two incidents were well documented, and government officials examined the bodies, wrote case reports, and published books. The hysteria, which is commonly referred to as the 18th century vampire controversy, raged for generations. The problem was exacerbated by rural epidemics of so-claimed vampire attacks, probably caused by the higher amount of superstition that was present in the village communities, of course, and with the locals digging up bodies and in most cases staking them. So, and although many scholars reported this period that vampires did not exist, what do you think? Do honest, real vampires exist? I know people believe that they are, but do you really think an honest-to-goodness vampire exists? Or had existed? Scholars reported during this period vampires did not exist, and they attributed reports of premature burial or rabies. It must have been a lot of it. Must have been a lot of premature burials and rabies going around then, right? And superstitious belief continued to increase. It was well said that these vampires were corpses who went out of their graves at night to suck the blood of the living, either at their throats or stomachs, after which they returned to their cemeteries. The person so sucked waned, grew pale, and fell into consumption, while the sucking corpses grew fat, got rosy, and enjoyed an excellent appetite. It was in Poland, Hungary, Silesia, Moravia, Austria, and Lorraine that the dead made good this good cheer. Okay. This was a Voltaire. It's in his philosophical dictionary, if you're so inclined to read. Do you really believe actual vampires exist? Real, honest-to-goodness vampires. Okay. And the controversy kind of quelled when the Empress of Austria sent her personal physician to investigate the claims of vampiric entities.